Hey guys, welcome to class number 3. This is all about listings, start to finish. First, you need a listing. How to get a listing. Cold call. You got to get comfortable being on the phones. Expireds. What are expireds? Expireds are listings that have been listed with another agency and are now expired. They didn't sell. So you're not allowed to call any of our own office expireds, which also include our Middletown office. So that's Keller Williams, Hudson Valley, and Keller Williams, Hudson Valley United. After, if it's been expired for over a year, then you can. You could call the agent and ask if it's okay. You're probably not going to get a yes. But anyway, you are not allowed to call expireds from our own offices. Now, if there is Keller Williams like Hudson Valley, or if it's Keller Williams Valley out of New Jersey or one in Westchester, that's fine. Just not our own Keller Williams. There are for sale by owners. That is also referred to as FSBO, F-S-B-O. You can find them on... There's for sale by owner sites. There's Zillow. Also Sphere. Your Sphere is your gold mine. That's your family, your friends, your people in your whatever sporting groups or whatever activities that you're always involved in. The person who cuts your hair, all those. Then farming and prospecting. Farming and prospecting are the same thing. It's just two different names for them. Or for one thing, two names for one thing. That would be, let's say, if you were hosting an open house, you're going to call streets around and let people know about the open house. And in doing that, you might find someone who's buying or selling. Also, you would call around, farm or prospect around just solds or just listeds, things like that. Then what you would do is you mail a thank you card to everyone you have talked to. You hand address that and put their address and the return address. And you put your at least 2 business cards in it. You're going to mail a thank you card to anybody that you talk to that, especially that you don't know, that are new contacts. Even if it's an expired who hung up on you, you have to realize that that person, their phone is ringing off the hook all day with people who want to relist their home. And the thing is that they're probably not going to be in a very good mood. Their house just sat for 6 months and didn't sell, and they're probably blaming the real estate agent, even though it's not the real estate agent's fault. So you send them a thank you card anyway. Just tell them thank you for taking my call. If you or anybody you know or has any interest in, you can do whatever you want. You don't have to do a novel. Just like if you or anybody you know needs any help with real estate, please give me a call. Something short and sweet. There are stories of people who have been very rude to people and they got the thank you card and they ended up listing with them. So do that. You put the people in your e-edge and your commands and you put them on a drip. What a drip is a reoccurring email or something that keeps them top of mind that you're in real estate. So they're in e-edge. There is a monthly newsletter you can put people on. So every month they get this very educational 1-page newsletter that's branded with your name and everything. It's very nice. There's other things coming out in command as well. Then the biggest and most important thing is you need to follow up. That is one of the things. So you could be calling this expired. You call them on the day that it expires, but then the next week nobody's calling them, right? But you do. And now they're not so mad and they've gotten over it and they do still want to sell. And guess what? Now you're the one that gets that opportunity to do that. So you need to follow up with the mailings of the letters that you have written and sent out to everybody that you know. Call them, make sure that they got them. And any other mailings that you do, and when you put a mass mailing out, the thing is you do the mailing, but then you also call to follow up and say, hey, did you get my mailing that showed the house that I just sold around the corner? Your past clients, even if you have clients from a different career that you used to have, call them up and let them know about your career change. And your current clients. Maybe some of your clients have taken a break on looking at things, but you can see in the portal that they're active, looking, and you just want to check in with them. Not even maybe just be, hey, how are the kids? How are things going? It doesn't have to necessarily say, hey, are we going out this weekend? Because this is a relationship-based business, and you need to nurture your relationships, and you need to be authentic, and people need to know that you care about them. Okay? Don't be a secret agent. Wear your name tag out in public. People love to talk about real estate, post on social media. It's such an easy conversation to have. Everybody likes to talk about real estate. So if they know that you're in it, they're going to be asking you your advice about things. Then there's door knocking. This is not allowed in every town, so you need to make sure you call up the towns before to make sure you to see if you need a peddler's license before you go knocking on people's doors. So that is something you need to check into if you're going to be door knocking. Towns of Rockland. How many towns are in Rockland? I'm going to give you a few minutes to think about that. Not a few minutes, sorry, a few seconds. We're not going to sit on pause for a while. If you said 5, you are correct. Do you know what those towns are? Stony Point, Haverstraw, Ramapo, Clarkstown, and Orangetown. So within these 5 towns, there are hamlets and or villages. So I live in Pearl River, so I'm a town of Orangetown. There's Pearl River, Tapan, Orangeburg, Spark Hill, Piermont, and Palisades. And within Orangetown, I know that there's 2 school districts. There's South Orange and there is Pearl River. Like Clarkstown has Nanuet, and then also Clarkstown School District, and then Clarkstown School District, when it becomes the high school part, divides in North and South High School, or Clarkstown North and Clarkstown South. So these are things you need to know what you are selling in the areas. These are the forms that you need for a listing. And the thing is, you will be learning about dot loop, and you need to take the dot loop and forms class as soon as you can. I also have on our Facebook page, you can put in dot loop and it can show you how to start doing some things. But what I was going to say is I do like to go into dot loop, and if I have enough advance notice that I'm going on a listing appointment, I like to fill in as much as I can so it's typed in nice, clean, and clear so you can see what it is. But at the same time, you need to keep a pack of all of these forms ready to go, blank, in your car, because you never know when you might that conversation you had in the grocery store line might turn into hey, come over to my house and check it out, and the next thing you know, you're taking a listing, and that has actually happened. So you need their exclusive right to list. You need the writer for the exclusive right to list, and what this is the exclusive right to list. You're supposed to put it up within 24 hours, but if you have the writer, then if you need to clean or take photos and everything like that, then you have 6 months where it's your listing, they're under contract with you, but you have that leeway, that time to get the house ready to put it onto the market. Agency, lead paint, if the home was built before 1978, property disclosure, the lien disclosure, well water disclosure, and abandoned well form. The last 2 don't come up as often, but you should have them just in case. This is what you need to take to an appointment. 1, show up on time. If your appointment's at 6 o'clock, don't show up at 6:05. Don't show up at 5:45. Show up at 6 o'clock. If you get there a little bit early, sit in your car and wait, and then walk up to the door, 6 o'clock, knock on the door. Be like, okay, we had an appointment at 6 o'clock. It's 6 o'clock, so that they know that you're punctual and you respect the time. Be dressed appropriately. I'm not saying you have to go out and buy a whole new wardrobe, but please you are your business and you're representing your business. So dress respectfully. If you've had enough time, have the forms filled out as much as possible. You should have your CMA, which is a comparative market analysis, which if you need to go, and you definitely need to take the class with Lynn Garcia. When she gives it quarterly, as well as you can go on to our Facebook page and you can put CMAs and you can watch it there as well. An agenda, I like an agenda because it helps me stay on topic, and I can even show them the agenda so they know this is what we're going to talk about. Okay, we've talked about this, now we're going to talk about that. So if they keep trying to push to price this, I want to get all my points made before we go directly to what it is at the end. The seller checklist and survey. So I have created a checklist that the MLS requires, all the things that the MLS requirements are to put a listing. And so that way, if I'm putting in the listing, I don't have to call my client over and over and say, oh, what was the attic? What was this? What was that? I go walk through the house and I check everything and write everything down so I have it when I'm putting it in. And then I also have a seller survey. The seller survey is more something specific for them to fill out, like are there hardwood floors under this carpet? How old's the roof? What is this? It's like all the questions that are not required, but the buyers are going to be asking about, as well as the requirement you do have to fill in the elementary schools and junior high and high schools in the MLS, so they can fill that out because they're going to know what that is. And if they have their current tax bills, that's even better. Some of the towns you can go online and instantly get the correct taxes. There are other ones like Ramapo you have to fax in, and it can take a couple of days. So it can definitely slow you up a little bit. But if they have their current tax bills, then that's even better. They can write it down. And then I take a notepad, because when you're asking questions, you really actually listen, and you want to like recall those answers that they give you during your interview, and also that they know that you're actually listening to them. And working pens, because when it's time to sign, you want to make sure you got some ink in that pen. Okay. So now what are we going to do? We're going to schedule photos to be taken. I highly recommend that you schedule a professional photographer to do this. It can mean people coming in to see your house and not coming in to see the house that you have listed, because everybody's previewing online first. There are people that range from $100 to a few $100s. There is definitely a wide variety, and people do of all different, like $100 guys that I use are just as good as the $300 guys too. If you have to use your phone to take pictures, make sure you do it horizontally, because vertically it just shows really bad online and on the MLS. Schedule your sign installation. We have a guy, and there is or you could find your own guy. But there is a form in .loop, and you fill that out and email it to him, and your sign will go up. And if you want, you can even put your sign up a few weeks before you're going live if you like, and you can have a coming soon rider on your sign. I don't suggest doing it more than a couple weeks though for your coming soon. You need to buy your lock box at HGAR in West Nyack, and those cost $107. Those are the blue boxes that we talked about. That's a Sapura box. We talked about that in the last class. Input your listing into the MLS. You must fill in all the yellow sections. Upload your exclusive right to the listing in the MLS, and the date on the upper right corner on your exclusive right cannot be more than 24 hours from going live, or you will get fined. Submit your listing, which means you're going live. Ooh, and we're off. The next thing you're going to do once you go live, you're going to hold a broker's open house on the Tuesday after going live. What a broker open house is, this is you presenting your listing brand new on the market to all of the other agents. And this is a great way to get to meet other agents of other companies. Mortgage brokers love to sponsor lunch for these, which helps get people in. People tend to like to go where the lunch is. What else? You could also raffle off gas cards and things like that to draw more attention in hopes of people coming to see your house. After this, you're going to hold an open house to the public soon after going live. Those tend to be on Saturdays and Sundays. Sundays more than Saturdays. You will present every offer that comes into your seller and upload it into the .loop. It's very important that even if it's like an offer for $50,000 and it's a ridiculous offer, on your $300 listing they offer $50,000, you must present every single offer that comes in to your seller, and you should upload them all into the .loop. So if you have more than one offer, you are protected, that you can show the other agency if they try to fight you on that you did have more than one offer. So if there are multiple offers, you're going to set a day and a time to ask everyone to submit their highest and best offer. So let's say you went live on Thursday. The place is like going crazy. You're getting all these offers. So you're going to be like, okay, on Monday at 5 o'clock, we are doing highest and best. So everybody will submit their highest and best offer, and then you're going to pick one. The other thing is even though you've accepted an offer, you still, let's say something else comes in, you still have to present it. You have to present all offers until you are officially under contract. You accept an offer. Now an inspection is going to be set, and you should stop by toward the end and see how things are going, and if there's anything that you should be aware of, like anything environmental or structurally that it might need to be is going to come up, or that the buyer is possibly going to be asking for. So if something big does come up in the inspection, you might have to renegotiate the price, agree to fix something, or give a credit at the closing, or all three. Until contracts are signed, you're allowed to, more so than allowed, you're supposed to show the property. It's supposed to be shown unless the seller doesn't want to. So the advantage of this is it's actually in your best interest and your seller's best interest to show it until the seller has signed. There are many cases where the buyer has signed contracts, are ready to go, and somebody else comes in, sees the property, and they offer more than what that buyer can do. And so they get it because it has not, until the seller signs, you are not officially under contract yet. So it definitely is in the best interest for you and the seller to show the property until contracts are fully executed. So the buyer signs and gives a down payment check, normally of about 5%. They write that when they're signing the contract. Then the seller signs. Now you are officially under contract. You change the status of the property in the MLS to under contract. Now you're going to complete, you're under contract and you're going to complete your green sheet. You can find how to do a green sheet on our Facebook page. You just type in green sheet and a video is going to come up. The green sheet is how you get paid. It is also how our company projects what our monthly profits are going to be. So it is very important once you go under contract to immediately do your green sheet so that they are aware of, because it takes, a couple months for it to actually close, but they need to project, 2 months out or whenever, what they're projecting our profit to be. So complete your green sheets. You're also going to email your commission bill to both attorneys. An appraisal will be ordered if a mortgage is happening, and it'll be ordered just not too long after the contracts are officially signed by both sides. The buyer's agent is the one who's going to let the appraiser in and will get the call, but they will call you to approve the time and the day. 95% of the time, the appraisal will be fine. If not, you might have to renegotiate the price. If your seller doesn't want to renegotiate the price, then the buyer is going to have to come up with the gap of the money so let's say it appraised for $6,000 less than what the offer was. So the buyer then is going to have to find $6,000 somewhere to come up with that. So a buyer is then going to get a commitment letter from the bank. The titles and municipals, they come in, and if everything's okay, the title is making sure there's no liens or anything on the property, and the municipals are the town actually going in and making sure there's no violations on the house. All that's clear, then the bank gives the clear to close. So what this means, now 4 different parties have to coordinate schedules. So when setting the date and time for the closing, you have the buyer's attorney, the seller's attorney, bank attorney, and the title company. All 4 of those have to line up for time and date for closing. The date and time is set, and for the final walkthrough, you'll get called, and the buyer is going. Normally, it happens the day before or the day of, and you should be there at this time. You also would take the lockbox and the key. You don't give them the key yet. So you should be there for the final walkthrough just so you can make sure that everything is okay and they're not trying to pull anything at the last minute. You attend the closing and collect your check and hand over the keys. You hand your check to not Maureen Houlihan. I need to update this. Actually, Martin is now our MCA. And when you come in, you'll ring the gong to celebrate your closing. And you will also get a closing sheet, and you will fill that out, and it's information on the house. And then you'll hand that sheet and check over to Martin. You'll change the status of your listing in the MLS to sold. You'll go to Zillow and you'll add the sale to your past sales. This is very important because it doesn't automatically happen. You have to physically go and pull that information from Zillow. And we don't like Zillow, but at the same time, the buyers and consumers, they go there a lot. So you want to make sure that you have your stats there. Now you wait for your money to appear in your account either on a Wednesday or a Friday. I need you to pick a script partner. So if you're watching this, you're probably not live in my classes. Just reach out to me and I will match you up with somebody else who is also needing a script partner. It's okay to have more than one. Script partners are very important. You should pick a time, every day for 20 minutes to give each other a call. Don't talk about your lives and things like that. It's strictly just to practice scripts. So let's say you want to you're going to be calling expired. So you want to practice the expired scripts. So you are doing the script, and then your script partner is giving you objections, pretending to be the expired listing. And then let's say your script partner is going on a listing appointment, so they want to practice a listing script. So then your role playing is what you're doing. And you want to give each other at least 4 objections before you actually give them the appointment. So your homework. You're going to set a time to do scripts with your script partner. You're going to attend the team meeting on Tuesdays at 9:30. At 9:30 is more of a mingling part. It officially starts at 10, from 10 to 10:45. You're going to add 10 people to eEdge and Command. If you add it into Command, it's automatically in eEdge if they're synced. You're going to share your app with at least 3 people. You're going to shadow a listing appointment with your sponsor or another agent in the company. And if you do go on a listing appointment with someone, you are a fly on the wall. Take a pad of paper and a pen and take notes. Do not say a word. All you're doing is observing. That's it. You're going to attend Power Hour, which I need to update this as well, on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Fridays at 9:30 here in the office. And that's it.